Hi everyone, it's me again. I wanted to make another video, this time with a different view so that you don't have to stare at a keyboard for 10 straight minutes of your day. The purpose of this video is I want to talk a little bit about the rhythmic aspect of this music and its implications. Before I begin though, I just want to reiterate, like I did in I think 2 videos before this one, is that virtually all of the information that I've recorded already and all the stuff I'll continue to record is not original to me. It comes almost verbatim from the teachings of Barry Harris, who's a world-renowned jazz educator, and he still teaches classes in New York and Lower Manhattan, and I don't mean any copyright infringement or anything like that. I'm just trying to take all of this information and make it more accessible to the general public. So again, it's not my stuff, it's his stuff, and I've learned a lot from it, and so I'm trying to help other people learn. So anyway, so in this video I want to talk a little bit about the importance, just how important this aspect of rhythm is in regard to improvising in jazz. The way that I like to think of improvisation ideally is the harmonic component, which is basically all I've talked about so far in the other videos, but there's also this rhythmic component. You know, some people say that music, if you think of music as a melody essentially equals harmony plus rhythm. And then you get melody and you get music. So I try to think of things as we have to have this marriage between harmony and rhythm in order to be the most powerful or effective, not just in jazz, but in music in general. And one of the things Barry Harris says about rhythm is that he likes to think that rhythm rules the world. You know, he says that how often the traffic lights go from red to green, or how often a lunar eclipse happens, or, you know, the tide on the ocean, all this stuff, he likes to relate that back to rhythm. It's something that's inherent to us as human beings from his point of view. And he likes to say even speech to a degree is rhythmic, which it is. You know, we don't have pitches necessarily assigned to the sentences we say. It's mostly built on rhythm and how often or not often we say things. And so that kind of goes to show the importance of this. And if you look at other pedagogues in the history of jazz, specifically I'd like to talk about Dizzy Gillespie for a second. When you look at interviews of other jazz musicians that have ever had any contact with Dizzy Gillespie, they always say, you know, how great it was and how much they learned. But a lot of them point out how they say, like, yeah, it was weird, man, when I was working with Diz back in the 80s or whatever, you know, I spent an entire week with him, but he didn't talk about the notes or the harmony once. He was always about rhythm up here. So, you know, that's kind of what was going through his mind, or that was evident between people that worked with him, was he was just constantly focusing on the rhythmic aspect of things. And to me, and also to Barry Harris, I think that a lot of the reason why we tend to like certain improvisers and the way they like to play, like Charlie Parker, for instance, or Dizzy Gillespie, or Bud Powell, or let's just say the music of Thelonious Monk for a second, I think a large part of the reason why people like those melodies that are either composed or improvised in the moment is because of the rhythmic aspect. You know, to go back to Dizzy Gillespie, he often referred to the rhythmic element of Charlie Parker's playing as sanctified. He called them sanctified rhythms. And I think a large reason why Bird's playing was so impactful was because he's, in my opinion, one of the greatest rhythmic virtuosos of all time. So really what I'm trying to say here is every video I've done so far has focused on the harmonic aspect, which is important because that's 50% of it. But we can talk about harmony and movement and all these things all day until we're blue in the face. But it's not going to mean a thing unless we have that rhythmic component and we eventually work to have a marriage of those two things. So I just kind of want to get that information out to you to say that we can't forget about the rhythmic aspect when we're improvising. And in the next video, or series of videos, I'm going to talk about some things that you can practice to help solidify or discover, if you're not sure about it, this rhythmic conception that I think every human inherently has. So I'll see you in the next video, and take care till then.